And welcome back. Is your coffee all right, Karen?
Very nice.
Yeah, okay. I'm pleased about that. He's the only one who got a coffee, but we'll catch up afterwards. This is Beyond Gardens Live, and if you're watching it on the 18th of September, then it is live. If you're watching a repeat, please don't call because we won't be here at the time. You can get in touch with us, Simplicity itself. What's the phone number
Remember,
again?
if it's the 18th of September, you can ring us on 6468 5994.
And turn the sound down on your TV, please. And the other one, when we still have some emails accumulated here,
absolutely.
is the email address.
Is tv@beyondgardens.com.au, and as I mentioned earlier, if you can attach some photos, that will be great. It'll make it a bit more entertaining for everybody and easier for us to
Find an answer.
Yes.
It's difficult working in the dark. It's got blue flowers, you know the one. Yeah, yeah.
So the previous email actually is a two-part email.
Oh, okay. So we haven't answered
We
them.
haven't completed the question.
Okay.
So we also have a lemonade tree in a tub. It's about 8 years old. Last season it had an attack of small black insects which stripped the tree of its leaves. It's recovered well and is covered with flowers. However, now it's losing its leaves again. This year there is no sign of black insects, but the leaves are losing their colour before they drop. We've used pest oil in an attempt to halt this process, but I take it there has been no result so far.
Okay. Worth making the point then that pest oil will only work if there are pests.
Exactly.
Yeah, and pest oil is just one type of white oil, although the manufacturers might agree with that, but they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
And pest oil relies on smothering the insect and basically suffocating it.
Yeah.
The little black things we are fairly sure, because they're so common at this time of year, will be these, which is citrus black aphid. Check your citrus for it, check the new growth. Chances are they'll be all over it everywhere. You can just rub them off with your fingers if you've got a lot of patience. You can blast them off with a hose, you won't get them all, or you can use white oil to control them. And that's basically the answer to that. But the other one was interesting, that the leaves are dropping off.
So the leaves are losing their colour before they drop. And if there's no insects evident, then maybe there is another reason for this occurring.
Yeah, the lemonade, great citrus, by the way. I reckon one of the best of all the citrus, because you can just bite into it, bite into what looks like a lemon. And it does really taste like lemonade. It's brilliant. Now, it's one of the tougher plants. It's not normally worried by this, but every time we get a question about leaves falling off citrus, well, some of the limes will defoliate, right? But mostly it's because we've been, again, too heavy-handed with the fertiliser. Or in some cases this season, maybe because it's too wet. That is playing a role.
Yeah, I mean, it's been super heavy rain, really heavy.
And lots of it.
And lots of it in a short space of time. And possibly, we don't know, because it doesn't say in the email, but if you've fed your lemonade tree, possibly it may have been overfed.
Yeah. A lot doesn't necessarily make it good. And there's been a lot of marketing lately, so people have raced off and bought their fertiliser. Get ready for spring is the normal story. You don't need to. You just take it easy.
You're suggesting maybe snails as well?
Oh, yeah, and there's been a really bad snail season this year, and so if you're not used to having a good look around your plant, just have a look. You might be surprised how many snails are in there. They're actually slaughtering passion fruit.
I can show you pictures. Not a very good one. It's quite an old one. This was the snail harvest from one night at our place a long time ago. Long time ago, because that young fella is getting married on Saturday.
Yeah, I hope he's watching. Wasn't he a good-looking fella?
Yeah, wasn't he good? Actually, this is probably a better-looking guy. But I'm going to pay for that. Look out for snails, because conditions have just been so ideal for them, haven't they?
They're everywhere.
They're wet, they're everywhere, there's plenty of breeding time, and they have had a field day. They have really enjoyed this wet weather. As too, by the way, have our dams, although I can't tell you how full the dams are. Geez, they've got to be benefiting out of this. Not a licence, however, to waste water. And were you saying you saw somebody with their sprinklers on the other day?
I've seen 3 people just in the last couple of days. Suddenly, because there's a bit of sun out there, they start putting those sprinklers on, and it's just ludicrous.
There's enough moisture in the ground to see us through November into December at this rate. Really, just turn your sprinklers off, please. It's just criminal. The water that you waste now is water that's not available later in the year. Just silly.
And that includes bore users, might I add.
Yeah. And the good news is they've obviously gone and got their coffee because we've got a couple of callers.
Okay. Hello, welcome to the garden.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, yes, hello.
Yeah, how you going, Ben?
We're going well, thank you.
That's good. Just start talking to you. The first thing is, I'd like to thank you for your advice about the line tree. Don't cut it back, and that was not much to go. Going pretty well. Right, spot on. Just excuse me. I did comment, and there's probably only third or fourth year.
Sorry, I have to interrupt. It's very difficult. Your sound keeps dropping out, and I'm afraid I can't understand a word you're saying. Are you doing any better?
Not doing very
your
well,
fault,
no.
I'm sure. But we're encountering a bit of a technical problem here.
You're not on speakerphone, are you?
Very patchy, isn't it?
It is. I'm sorry. Look, we're going to have to let you go this time. Maybe you'd like to call in on a different phone and see how we get on.
If you get a landline, please,
Yeah.
that'd be handy.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It does happen now and again. But, right, that's life. No, but you have to hang up first. Okay. Now.
And we have another call.
So there is somebody there. Hello, welcome.
Hey, Vicky.
That's better.
Yes.
Hey, Vicky.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, yes, we're talking to you.
So, are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
We hope so.
What's today? Tuesday?
It is. No, it's
No, it's
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday the 18th.
I'd just like to give a happy birthday to my sister.
Oh, no. No,
Oh, no, only I get to do
I've
that.
started this. Yeah, okay, off you go. All right, now, emails are coming in, so
Yes.
we better do it. But first, that.
Oh, yes. Last week, John and I went to hospital, but it was actually for a very good reason. We're here at PMH today to beautify the outdoor area and create a food garden. We're going to be planting lots of salad vegetables and herbs, and the kids will be able to use them in their cooking classes on the wards and put them into their different concoctions that they come up with.
Yeah, it'll be really much appreciated because we do lots of groups with the kids, help push the healthy eating drive that we have going, and also help create some routine for the kids on the ward in regard to kind of maintaining the gardens.
G'day folks, there's a reason why I'm not in tonight's show. It's because somebody's got me digging holes and filling it up with yellow sand. I'll see you in next week's show. Oh, last pile of sand.
Thanks, John. What a man. John's just been probably for at least the last hour delivering wheelbarrow loads of yellow sand to add to these raised garden beds. The point of adding the yellow sand is, well, is one, because there is a little bit too much organic matter in these beds, so we're diluting it. Ideally you want to have up to 10% by volume of organic matter. This has got a bit too much. It's also got black sand, which a lot of people think is the right thing to use. However, it's much better to go for our nice coastal coloured sands, which actually hold water. Even though they're sand, so they are still poor in water holding capacity, they actually hold water better than the black sand. This one here is a curry plant. Beautiful smelling, fantastic for putting in any of your Indian dishes. And then we've got an absolute abundance of mint. These are all different types of mint. Great in the pot. Obviously you don't want them in the garden because they have really massive root systems. We've got a rosemary in the middle, and then we've managed to revive some basil, and we've got an absolute mountain of parsley, and then we'll be putting some mulch on, some good coarse mulch to help to keep the soil nice and moist. particularly in summer. This is quite a warm area where we are, but either way, wherever it is in your garden, always need to mulch and always a good cross mulch. And now we're going to give them a drink in a minute. We've had a great couple of hours here at PMH, and we've planted some wonderful herbs and spices, because there's a curry plant that was already in the garden, so we've just spruced things up a little bit in one of the veggies, and then we've planted a few new salads and herbs in the other raised beds. And we've got our lovely used trowels that we can leave you with.
Fantastic.
And a whole heap of brand new gloves, so the kids can use those for
Great,
gardening.
brilliant. That'd be great. Thank you.
And there we are, Princess Margaret Hospital. So, that'd make you feel good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was really
Yeah,
good fun,
great,
actually.
great time.
Yeah,
That's
yep.
good.
And they were, as you might have seen, I was actually there too. So, and I reckon I did more wheelbarrow loads than John did anyway.
I think you did, actually.
But yeah, they were a lovely bunch of people, wonderful bunch of kids, and that garden is part of the therapy process where they learn how to do cooking and to break the routine of the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful bunch of people there.
Okay. And so it was. Now, you were telling me, because you get the word.
I get the word.
That there are calls.
We have a queue of
There's a
calls,
queue of
so
calls,
we better get stuck into them.
on to it. Hello, welcome to the garden.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
indeed we can.
Okay, that's good. Now, I've been watching a lot of programs about gardening,
Yes.
and most of the programs are cutting and pruning and things like that. But I think that the biggest problem facing us home gardeners, especially the fruit growers, fruit flies.
Yes.
And I think up to now, there's not a single program that teaches us how to control fruit flies in the home.
Well, I mean,
I've got citrus plants and kumquat plants, which I can't harvest at all. All gone, but they
yeah. You may be aware, if you're watching the paper, there's a raging debate about fruit fly at the moment. And one of the reasons for that debate is that the chemical that the growers, the commercial growers, have been using for many years is now being withdrawn pending investigation. And there are many, and I know a few of the growers, and I'm sure they'll ear-bash me at Carragullen too, there are many who are saying, well, we just leave the industry. We can't control fruit fly. For the home gardener, the control now, it's emerging as really there's only one practical control. By the way, there's no chemical that will do the job of the one that's been taken away. You still trap, you still foliar bait, but nowadays we just try and keep the fruit fly out. It's called exclusion netting. That's the way we're going to go. It's a bit of a pain, but it's very effective, doesn't involve any chemicals. So you either screen the whole plant off or just the fruit.
Yeah, so you can actually buy little bags, and the good thing about that is that you protect it from birds as well. So you're not having to worry about the birds. They're fine mesh, so as the plant grows, it doesn't push through and cause you all sorts of problems like bird netting does. And the final one, which I loved with my mango season last year, is that when the fruit's ripe, it falls off into the bag, and every morning you just go out, open the bag up and eat something that's perfectly ripe. And you haven't eaten mango until you've actually eaten one that's fallen off because it wanted to, not because you've picked it when you think it's ripe.
This is the picture we're just looking at there is individual exclusion bags, which are not for fruit fly, in fact, but against the birds. And that's on grapes. So the grapes are actually ripening underneath there. Actually, you can probably see it. They're not fruit fly proof because the bottom's open. But gee, they worked really well for me. Didn't lose any sultanas at all. And in fact, the sultana bunches there that we didn't eat dried perfectly on the vine.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think exclusion is the way we're going to go, and I think you're going to see more and more products geared toward this, and more ideas and concepts of exclusion, because it can involve when I talk with my colleague Peter Coppin, he goes to great lengths. He's very knowledgeable on fruit fly and exclusion. But, you know, it involves a change in the way that we grow fruit. Instead of big trees, we grow small trees. Instead of pruning them in winter, we prune them regularly through the growing season. And that way we keep them small, which means we can contain them in an enclosure. So I agree with you. It's the major problem. But the only way around it, as I say, is to keep the flies at bay.
Or one day we might actually go back to biological control. We had a very, very successful program.
Hope springs eternal.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, very, very successful program against the Queensland fruit fly. And we could have so easily continued with that sterile male bait program that the Ag Department was running so well and continued through and got rid of Mediterranean fruit fly, but they chose not to. So.
Little doubt that we could have eradicated Mediterranean fruit fly from WA.
And had an
But
industry.
the will wasn't there.
And the good thing about
Or
that
maybe
was
the budget wasn't there.
there was a very good industry where we actually employed people who hadn't had jobs to go out there and release the flies. So there was actually an employment program as well. So there would be a good one for any politicians out there to have a think about that one.
Yes.
Imagine that in your job resume. Oh, what did you used to do? Oh, yeah, I used to release flies.
Yeah.
That doesn't get done well. Sorry, we have another call.
We've got 4 callers
We've
coming.
got 4
okay.
calls. Let's not chatter amongst ourselves. Hello, welcome to the garden. Hello. Yeah, please talk to me.
How are you, mate?
Oh, we're well, thank you.
Love your show.
Thank you.
I've got a real easy one. I've just got at the back in a fine leaf, and I just want to know spray put on without killing the lawn.
You might have to tell me that again.
Yeah, what was the first bit?
You've got something?
Yeah, I've got really fine leaf. I think it's like green, and I've some weeds, but I just find the spray at lawn without killing the lawn.
Got a weed. We didn't catch which weed you had.
Yeah, this is frustrating to sound. It's not your fault again. We've obviously got a little issue here. But I gather, just confirm yes or no, you've got a weed in the lawn you need to control?
Yep, and it'll be like prickleweed.
Thistleweed.
Yeah, like
Oh, okay. So it's a broadleaf weed is basically what we're talking about, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Easy. Yeah, easy because you can go and get them all out. I know people look at me strange when I say manually weed the lawn, but it's not as big a task as it seems, and you can solve the world's problems while you're at it. Or you can use a selective herbicide. Read the labels very carefully, because it depends on the sort of lawn you've got as to which chemical you can use. I must admit, I'm even a little wary about that. And the only one I spray for is Bindi. That's it. Everything else I can live with. But yes, it is very easy, and it won't kill the lawn. No.
So Bindi weed be fine with the.
You can use the Bindi killer because that will also take out broadleaf weeds as well. Yes.
But be very careful if you've got buffalo, because that's not a lawn; it's a broadleaf plant.
Oh,
Okay? So if you use that stuff on buffalo, you're likely to kill it.
Well, no.
I can vouch for that, making that mistake.
Read the label very carefully. What you're looking for is the active ingredient dicamba, and that is okay on buffalo. It will say okay on broadleaf grass. So broadleaf grass is our buffalo and kikuyu. So yeah, make sure you get the right product. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
And we've got another caller.
It took me too long. I actually found the picture of the flat-leaf weed then, but no, we'll go to the next call. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello. We're relieved to hear your voice. How can we help you?
I have a friend that has a lemon tree, but the lemon's very orange and they're quite sweet.
The lemons are quite sweet. Did you say the lemons fall off?
No, they're quite orange. They're not like normal oranges.
Okay. We have a lot of different citrus, and I'm wondering if what you've got is what's called a Meyer lemon.
It's a little bit more orange.
Yes, yeah, it can be quite orange. Let me just show you a picture of it. That's a Meyer lemon.
Yeah.
And on the tree, they accumulate in that way. So they look a bit like a lemon, but they're orange, and they are a bit sweet because they are actually a lemon-orange hybrid. So I think that's what you might have. Yeah. Nothing you can do to make them sour again, I'm afraid.
That's all right. What's it called again?
Meyer, but not quite as in the shop. M-E-Y-M-E-Y-E-R. So there's an extra E in there. Meyer. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your call. Sweet lemons, as opposed to bitter lemons.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Are there still people queuing up to
Next
go?
call is ready.
Oh, okay. All right. Hello. Welcome to the program.
Hello, yes. I was interested in trying to grow a peppercorn vine, but I can't find anyone that sells them or seeds. Are they available in WA or?
I always miss the name of the plant.
Did you say peppercorn?
Peppercorn vine.
Oh, the vine. Okay. I don't know anybody that sells it, and unless you live north of Carnarvon, I couldn't recommend it to you. Unless you have a tropical glass house.
Yeah,
it's a very, very tropical plant. It's one that doesn't take kindly to even a hint of chill in the air. Now, where would you get seeds? I don't know. Maybe we'll throw that one open for our audience. I honestly don't know. The seeds that you buy of pepper have normally, you might be able to get green peppers, and I might be tempted to give those a go. But the white peppers and the black peppers have been treated and they won't grow. But no, I don't know. Look, I'm thinking on my feet, which is fairly obvious, isn't it? Most tropical plants, the seed is very short-lived. So if you're buying green peppers, probably won't come. They probably won't germinate.
It might be something that you potentially have to source from, I don't know, a nursery up north or something.
Up north, yeah. Maybe ask somebody up north.
Broome or Carnarvon or
I'm
something.
sorry we can't be more help. Maybe one of our viewers may know, in which case, if they could email us, we can pass it on. Yeah.
That'd be great. I have Googled it times and can't find any.
You haven't got that?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. The only places I've ever seen pepper are in the tropics, really tropical country. Yeah. Okay, sorry we can't be more help.
No, thank you.
Okay, it's all right. Now we have more calls, do we?
Well, the phone callers are coming fast, and I believe there's another one on the line.
We better squeeze them in quite quickly then. Hello, welcome to the program. And then we will do an email or two. Hello.
John, can you hear me, John?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, indeed.
Right. A couple of years ago, I bought a mandarin, I think it's a seedless mandarin, and 2 years later, it hasn't even grown an inch. This year, however, it has got flowers in spite of its size. I'm almost sure that it wasn't a dwarf mandarin. I'm just wondering, what is it I have to do to make it grow?
Maybe you didn't buy a dwarf mandarin, but it sounds like you've got one. I don't know. I mean, does it look healthy despite not growing?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So, well, just bear with it, I would think.
Is it in the ground?
It's in the ground, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Bear with it. Apply some citrus fertiliser now, but please, just a little bit, or a general purpose fertiliser will do. And also, this is very important, apply trace elements, complete trace elements, because the citrus really need this. This is, anybody who's listening who's got the citrus tree, you should be buying complete trace elements as well. It makes so much difference.
By trace elements, you mean Thrive or one of those other brands?
No. It is a product which is called Complete Trace Elements. You can buy it as a powder or liquid, and it contains all the nutrients that are needed in minute quantities. It contains a whole lot. Don't try and individually diagnose, just buy this Complete Trace Elements.
The size of the stem is no bigger than a pencil. Just how much of citrus fertilizer would I need?
Oh, look, you'd only be needing probably a small handful would do this year. Spread it all around the roots, right?
Yeah, I've just got a question. What have you been putting on it up until now? You haven't been watching those shows telling you to put potash on, have you?
As a matter of fact, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So this is the big problem in watching Eastern States TV shows, is that their soil is completely different to here. and the overuse of potash reduces the root growth of our plants here because we have a massive problem here. So please, like John always says, you've got to put on a complete fertiliser with trace elements and stop putting individual products on like the TV shows tell you, because they don't know what they're talking about in WA.
Can I just perhaps summarise that by saying sulphate of potash is not a good fertiliser to use. It may be a curative under some circumstances, but otherwise just leave it alone. Don't go there. Yeah, look, I hope that helps.
Thank you very much,
I
John.
seriously do. And we expect another call in a couple of years. A progress report. All right. We have another caller there. I gather, Gary.
Yeah, we'll have one last caller before we have to start
We've
wrapping
got
up.
emails
Yeah, we
piling
have
up.
got. We've got one.
Okay. All right. Let's do a call, and then we'll see how many emails we can squeeze in record time.
Okay.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, panel.
Good evening.
Just a very quick one. I've got I can't remember the technical name for this shrub, but everybody knows it as yesterday, today and tomorrow.
Yes, yeah.
I've got a lovely specimen that's grown in the garden for about the last 2 years from a small shrub from a pot. It's about 1 metre high by a ½ metre wide, and it has never, ever flowered. And I don't know what I've done wrong. It's been given all the fertilisers I can think of. It's had sheep poo, dynamic lifter, lots of mulch. It gets plenty of water. It has plenty of sun.
Yep.
And I really don't know what I'm doing wrong.
You're fertilising it, basically. I'm going to frustrate you now and show you what it should look like when it flowers, because they're very attractive flowers for those people who don't know it. Brunfelsia. It is a very attractive plant, and I'll just flick to a bigger picture of the flowers. There we go. Very highly fragrant. Now, that's at my place. It gets no fertiliser at all, and I think that's probably the trick to getting Brunfelsia to flower very well. Yeah. So just ease back on all the products. It's probably looking beautifully green, but
it is.
yeah,
it is. It's very green, John.
No, just
that's what worries me. It just has no flowers on it.
Ignore it. Walk away.
See, what we're going to realise is that the reason that these plants are flowering is they're trying to produce seed.
Yeah.
So one of the major triggers for them to start flowering and producing lots of seed is for them to think life isn't as nice as it used to be. And one of the tricks we often use is to really treat them tough, and that'll trigger probably the best flowering you've ever come across.
Yep.
Sometimes, interfere with the genes. Now, can we get 3 emails in?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks very much, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
3 emails.
Okay,
How do you go?
Okay. Please, could you tell me what this plant is? Where can I get it? Photo taken in Bustleton, WA.
Have you got that picture there? Well, I can probably bring up a similar picture anyway.
Here it comes.
There we come. All right. So this is the sort of plant that we're talking about. We got it up there? Yeah, okay, all right. Leaves sprawled all over the ground. When it flowers, it's actually very attractive. Let me come across. That's the flower. It's known as the blood lily, and its botanical name is Haemanthus coccineus. Haemanthus coccineus. Just remember that, H-A-E-M. You'll find it. You'll Google it. You'll be there.
And that photo was taken in Bustleton, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is attached as a photo of a fungi or something, which I found at the roots of this small shrub. It was dying, so I dug it up, and this greyish, dry, crumbly substance was around the roots.
Yeah.
The plant was near a cotton palm, and I am intending to plant a bottle brush in its place. We had filled in a well a couple of years ago, which is near where I dug the plant out. Can you tell me what it is and how I can get rid of it?
Okay, time's going to prevent us from looking at the picture. Gary's looking puzzled at it. We have got a picture. We think that the fungus is actually just decaying animal manure from the planting hole, not the cause of death. We can't tell you what the cause of death was, but if you want to put a new plant in 1.5 metres away, improves the soil, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about it. It's not a pathogenic fungus, I can assure you of that.
I'll tell you what, you'd be surprised how many fungi are on the ground if you have a good look.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're naturally there.
Yeah.
Hundreds, if not thousands.
Okay.
We'll never do it.
Oh, okay.
No, we'll never do it.
Come here,
Well, I'd like to remind you that the Water Corporation sponsors this program, and we do have a number of events that we are also undertaking in our own right, if I can bring those up. Well, geez, there's a lot of them. So, Many New Expo, which explains why John McWilliams is not with us at the moment. He's
They're
up
actually
there.
in Minganoo right now.
Right now.
Yep.
Sustainability Expo. That's an interesting one. Go to our website, by the way, for more details. And since time is really going to get very tight, we should run them down very quickly. We were appearing at Cambridge Community Garden. Sorry, we're looking over there because I can't read that one down there. Carragullen Expo, which is on the 12th of October. Great day. Well worth going out to have a look at
Don't forget
Carragullen
there's
Expo.
5 passes still available if you want to put your name down for
Oh,
one.
yes. And the Waterwise special event, Mount Claremont special event. You're going to be doing that, I think. Are you? Don't know.
I don't know.
All right. Piney Lakes coming up on the 19th of October and on the 24th of October. Floreat Gardenwise Seminar. More details on our website down there, www.beyondgardens.com.au. Let's have a look at that website right now, and you can see how you can get to those events, how you can get in touch, how you can send us emails. It's all there on the website through the events page. Is that right up to date with all the details?
That's everything up to date, and I'm adding
I feel like I've run the last few moments, and now we're going to have all the time in the world, aren't we? Yeah. Should we? No, I was going to say, should we do another email? Can I thank my colleagues here for being on the program today, Gary Hetty and Alison Dawn. It's been great to have your company. We look forward to it again in the future. To the unseen people who are behind the cameras and pushing buttons and pulling switches and hoisting lights and plugging things in, thank you very much. There they are, all right, running across the bottom. The people who keep us on course and allow this program to happen. And again, to our sponsors, and most of all to you, thank you for watching. If it was the 18th of September, you have been watching Beyond Gardens Live. If it's after that, sorry, we're just not live anymore. Isn't that terrible?
We are alive.
We are alive.
And please do not ring in if it's not the 18th.
Yeah, so that's how we put a program like this together. Been a very busy program, thank you. We do appreciate your calls. Send us emails during the week by all means, and tune in next week for more Beyond Gardens Live.